Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Swiss Sailing Team live talk after a very powerful day in Enoshima. Matteo Sanslands qualified for the medal race. That is really good because it was not his conditions. Marco Versari is going to tell us more about the tracking and the conditions there in a minute. We will also have Tom Rüegge, the boss, the team leader, joining us from Enoshima, as well as Tom Rüegge, member of the selection committee. The day went really well for Linda and Maya, 4th overall, as well as Seb and Lulu, but with an UFD, so they are 12th overall. Marco Versari, what do you have to show us today?
Well, another full day with for all athletes on the water. Summary for you on the video, which is now a tradition. Typhoon is gone over the Japanese island, but still we see the influence with this southerly wind that brings in 1 to 2 meters of swell, wind between 10 to 15 knots with some stronger gust. Direction is mainly from south. A lot of action today on the racing courses, actually all four the teams that were on the water, with Maud on Fujisawa and Seb and Lucien on Tsushi, and Linda and Maya and Matteo on the two inner courses, Enoshima and Kamakura. But check it out, the videos on SRF online, because it's really worth to watch it. Let's see with Seb and Lucien what happened in the race number 5, the first day race today. They did a very nice race, entering the top 5 of the fleet just since the begin, and then keeping the position all the way down to the end. Really nice race, really nice speed. Well done, boys. With Linda Maya, the battle was on. Check it out, the race number 4 of them. At the begin, they were on the right side of the course, just positioning, controlling the fleet since the first upwind. And then after the downwind, it started a battle with the other two competitors. I do not spoil who they are, just go and check. And all the race was about fighting for the lead. Very nice to watch, very nice to see, and very good to see it on the tracking as well.
And indeed, we had finally some really cool images on RTS and SRF, so go and check them. It's channel 4. You can go back a few hours if you want to look at them today. Tom Rüegge, member of the selection committee, welcome, and please tell us what do you think of the sailing so far in Tokyo?
Well, I've been following the sailing from the very first day on, and actually, I was involved already before because I'm following all the communications in between coaches and staff and athletes, and basically, I think the SST had a very good start into the Olympics with Matteo having let's say a perfect first day. Now the last 2 days have been a bit difficult due to the winds, especially for Matteo, having stronger winds, which is obviously not his strongest part. But today we again had a very good highlight, having Linda and Maya sailing very well in the 470 female, and Maud going with ups and downs. Unfortunately, she lost a few places during the last 2 days. Seba and Lulu having half of the series sailed, still being able to perform, moving up slowly. But we will see what happens the next few days, and I'm still very confident that Matteo will go back with a diploma, and Maya and Linda, they are in a perfect spot now to really go for it during the next few days.
And we are confident too. Maybe you can explain a bit how does the selection committee works before the games and all the years before. It started a long time ago to select the sailors.
Well, yes, it probably was the longest selection period we have ever had. I mean, Corona made this process process going very long and being very difficult. Of course, for the athletes, it was just very, very difficult to do the planning, but as well for us as selection committee, we had a very intense past 1.5 years because we didn't know what happens. We didn't know which events to choose because Swiss Olympic delivers us with a kind of a guideline. And based on these guidelines, we are obliged to do and to create the selection to send the best teams to the Olympic Games. And based on that, we set up a program in 2017, I think, and then the selection started in 2018, and now with all the COVID we had during the last 1.5 years, it all extended. And I think we had times when we had a talk or a meeting every 2 weeks to readjust the selection events, to readjust the selection process. And finally, I think the athletes did a great job to deal with these uncertainties and difficulties, but also the selections. I think we went through a fair and a very good process, actually.
Thanks for these precisions. It's been indeed a very long campaign, 5 years long. Thanks, Tom. Enjoy your holidays.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna switch to Enoshima with another Tom, the boss this time, team leader. Tom, how is everything in Japan?
Hi, Sophia. Yeah, nice to see some faces from at home. We've been here now since almost 3 weeks, and yeah, things are going well in a way. We cannot expect every day that all our 4 sailors perform at their very best. So there are ups and downs, and it's quite emotional. You can imagine. But today was a really good day for the Swiss sailing team athletes. First of all, we secured the medal race for Matteo. That's not a given. If you think that the last 2 days we had 15 knots, 16 knots, where the others are simply really, really fast. Kieran Badley, the Dutch guy, secured his gold medal already today. This guy is 1.96 meters tall, and Matteo, it's about 170 something. So there are the differences, and he's been sailing very, very well. Could have been a bit more points or less points, but overall he's in the medal race. He's fighting for the diploma. He still can do that. We expect light wind in the next day, so that's the first thing. It's secured. Then we had a fantastic day for Linda and Maya, climbing from overall 8 to the 4th place with only a little points to the 3rd. The amazing thing here is simply that they showed a performance in 15 knots, in 14 knots, where nobody of the fleet expected them to be so fast, and especially on the downwind in the first race today, they climbed from 13 to 7 and did it again on the second downwind. It's really amazing. The girls are on fire. They are in a kind of a flow. And the next days we expect lighter air, so we are really very positive about that this story can go on. With Maud, it's maybe a bit different. We see that, well, she won a race, and that's basically a message to everybody that she can do that. On the other hand, there are days when it's really difficult to hold the lane after the start, and once you have to tag in a fleet of 44, I think, then it's really difficult to recover from that. And they're still, well, she's 18, I think, at the moment, so still 2 races to go. Let's see. For me, the conclusion here in Enoshima is really everything is possible, and that's a message we are passing on to the sailors every day. Go out and fight for it. because what we saw with the 49er boys today was simply excellent. The first race, they finally took the right start, right side, crossed perfectly, and stayed on the top of the fleet. And these differences are very small. They actually haven't done a lot different to yesterday. Just the second faster, the second earlier started at the line, and here we go. And again, we see how quick it goes in the second race, where they have done a great performance on the racetrack, but were this second too early. So again, a lot of things are possible. And let's remember that actually they are 12 overall. That's really not bad. Two boats were disqualified today because their harnesses were too heavy. So there's a lot of things going on, and a lot of opportunities will still come along their way. It's only 50% of the regatta done in the 49er. So yes, we are still positive. We are still going day by day, and overall, I have a good feeling, honestly.
We are very confident too, and super excited to see what comes. Maybe one last word, Tom, about the atmosphere in the team, the behind the scenes, everything we cannot see on the result list.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a secret, I would say. But no, in general, I mean, you can imagine that if the competition goes on, the emotions go high. With a good day, you're emotionally very, very high, and if not, you're sad, disappointed, and everything. But overall, the spirit is always very, very constructive, and we, as I said, everybody goes day by day, and that's the key. We know that sailing can be brutal, as we've seen with Matteo Sanz-Lans, who would have fighting for the medals if we have light wind the whole week. But that's key, you go race by race, upwind per upwind, start per start, and every time you have a new chance to perform. That's it.
Thanks, Tom. We will follow it closely tomorrow. Starts at 5 a.m. For Mojaye and the 470 girls. A little later, 8 a.m. for the 49er. And Matteo has, of course, a day off before the medal race on Saturday. Thanks for joining us. Tomorrow we will have the 470 girls with us, debriefing the first half of their regatta. See you tomorrow.